thought arise through memory. Thought is respond to memory. Then through your awareness you realize, if it's something not in your knowledge, not in your memory, you cannot label it, you cannot give it a name, you cannot create a thought out of it, understand? Then when you silence your mind with the inner awareness, then you realize all of your thoughts, they are dependent originating, condition arising, causal phenomenon. That's why I saw it. So what happened is, yesterday I teach you the 12 link, Paticca Samuppada, 四因缘法. The first link is what? Avijja, Paccaya, Sankhara. What is avijja? Ignorance. Very good. What is Sankhara? You can use all the words. Everything that your mind can do. Understand now? So, dependent on ignorance, you go and think, understand not? Because that is the only faculty you have. So, you believe by thinking you can understand. That's why one thing to know, one thing to understand and experience, you think. And what is thinking? Going to your brain, your memory there, understand not? And make contact, understand not? So like the physics experiment, when you make contact, what happens? The light bulb lights up. What is that lighting up? You become conscious, isn't it? Mental consciousness, isn't it? That is the pure vijnana, understand not? That's why avijja paccaya sankhara, sankhara paccaya vijnana. This is the pure vijnana, the pure consciousness. Then after that, what happened? It conditioned nama rupa, the five aggregate of form and mind, the second aspect. So this is the second aspect of the five aggregates of form and mind. If you are mindful, aware, you can see this link very clearly. Then at the moment of this one, vijnana, the Buddha says, in the seeing, there is only the seeing consciousness. The egoic mind hasn't come in, no one to see. That is the direct seeing. You see things as they are, without the word, without the concept. You can be here, fully aware. That's why most of the time you are at this pure awareness nature, you see things as they are. You will not immediately input the content of consciousness through your views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, and memory and knowledge. To trigger off the perception, then the whole proliferation of thought process. So this one, from here to here, you realize from the pure awareness nature, once the brain input the content of consciousness, this one become a thought. Understand not? This one become a chitta. And this is how it arises. So thought, basically, thought or the chitta is basically the pure awareness with its content. So if you know it's the pure awareness with its content, then thought is response from memory. That's why without memory, like the newborn baby, you cannot create thought. So it's a response from that memory, because we are a conscious being. Understand not? We are a living organism. We have consciousness inside. And you can input the content to trigger out the thought. That is a mundane mind. And this one you can see. That's why there is no thinker behind the thought. You can understand now. Respond to memory. So all of your mind state is dependent originating. That's how. Based on your views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system, you input that content and trigger off the thought. And this one has life. That's why it has karmic. Understand? The moral causation. That's why the law of karma, you reap what you sow. Moral causation, all take over. Yeah. Then the Buddha say, dependent on this thought or namarupa, the five aggregate form and mind, the second aspect, there must be, what is the next link? Salayatana, sense basis. Without sense basis, it cannot trigger. Understand or not? You need sense basis with the mind, contact, then the sense data, then it trigger off. That's why this one will condition what they call salayatana, which is your sense basis. Then salayatana pachya, contact, pasad. Then pasad pachya, vedana, which is feeling, very good. Then pasad pachya, vedana. So all these are natural process. Sense basis, condition, contact. Contact, condition, feeling. Feeling, condition what? Yeah, tanha. What is tanha? So this is where craving is. And craving, condition, upadana, yeah, grasping. Yeah. Then upadana, condition what? Bhava is becoming. Then it condition jati, which is birth. Then arise the whole mass of suffering. Better put suffering. You put dukkha after people don't know. So if you look at this dwelling, most people only study it like theoretical, through Dhamma knowledge. So they try to get the English translation, then they try to make head or tail out of it, understand? And most of them in the Theravada tradition cannot understand the real Paticca Samuppada. So what did they teach you? This one, they say, happened over 3 periods of time, understand? You know how they come out with that? Well, otherwise they cannot explain. But if you understand, you are a cultivator, this one happened every moment, every instant, understand? That's why in the translation, or what we call the Visuddhimagga, the popularly accepted one, they explain it over the 3 periods of time. Why? Because to them, the only way to explain this is ignorant condition, karmic volition. Understand? They call this sankhara karmic volition. Because when there is ignorance at the moment of death, what happens? Your karmic volition will condition rebirth consciousness. Understand? That's why they say, like that very easy to explain. Then rebirth consciousness create the human being or the living being, the first aspect of the 5 aggregate of form and mind. Very logical, isn't it? Then they realize, this one past life, die already, rebirth consciousness, then another being. Then this being, with the sense basis, have this pasad, vedana, then craving, then becoming, then grasping, then becoming, then take birth again. Means you become like here, you take birth again, you become. But to me, sorry to use the word, this is nonsense, isn't it? If the Buddha teach me a Paticca Samuppada that I can only witness once in 3 lifetimes, then I learn it for what? As theory. Understand? Because they fail to explain. They did not do the pure awareness-based meditation. That's why they can't. And so far in the Theravada tradition, I so far only read of one book, Ajahn Buddhadasa. He is my teacher's teacher, Ajahn teacher. He is the only monk who dared to say the Paticca Samuppada is not over the 3 period of time. He also believed in the instantaneous one, spontaneous one, but he didn't really explain it. But he believed that is it, and he teach it that way. Otherwise, it got no meaning. So what is happening is, you don't know how to develop the inner awareness or mindfulness to witness all these links, then you cannot understand. The actual one is like what I explained to you. Every moment of consciousness before you become enlightened, you have avijja, isn't it? And because there is avijja, you don't understand. One thing to know, one thing to understand and experience, what do? You go to your memory to think, understand? Like all your problems, you think, believing that by thinking, it can solve your problem. Of course, worldly problems, sometimes it can. But psychological mental problem, you cannot. That's how you become cuckoo. That's how. The more you think, you enter depression. The cocoon of thought give rise to depression. So what happens is, you make contact with the brain, this one trigger of mental consciousness. Then you input the content, this one got moral causation. That's why all the wrong thought, most of them are wrong thought. Seldom there is right thought, free of the evil root. So when wrong thought went in, what happened? Thought that condition your fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, lamentation, suffering, phobia, everything. The negative aspect of your consciousness. So this psychological memory move. And when it moves, the Buddha says, dependent on this, there must be sense basis, otherwise it cannot arise. And when the sense basis is there, the Buddha wants you to use your mindfulness to see that there is contact. The mind must make contact with the sense basis for it to trigger off the mental feeling. Understand or not? Because consciousness, when they arise in the what they call Vedana Nupassana, or the second foundation of mindfulness, under Vedana Nupassana, the teaching explain feeling there are three types. The first one is what? Pleasant feeling. Second one, the opposite, unpleasant feeling. Then the third one, neutral feeling. And this is what is taught. So a lot of Theravada tradition cultivator very gullible. Oh, mindfulness of feeling. Yeah. Oh, I feel good. Pleasant feeling. I feel horrible. Unpleasant feeling. Then if it's nothing to do with you, like your neighbor, buy a new car, the wife reverse, get accident. You come back and laugh and talk to your wife. Your neighbor very sweet. New car. You have neutral feeling. And you have joy somehow. Nothing to do with you. You are not yours. You don't own it. You think that is Vedana Nupassana? No. The Buddha says when you aware that this is pleasant feeling means what? Means you have arisen the sensual desire, understand or? That is what you're supposed to see. The mental hindrance arise already. Then how can you meditate? Some more go and note pleasant feeling. For what? Without understanding. But when you understand, this one means the mental hindrance is there. It will hinder me from entering the meditative state. That's why when it comes to meditation, painful feeling, what do? Note pain. You heard of that before? And what are you doing? You are creating mental hindrance, is that? There is aversion towards that sensation. Vedana Nupassana is not to do that. Vedana Nupassana is to wake you up that it has become mental hindrance. Understand or not? Then what did popularly accepted teacher teach you? No. Understand or not? If you don't create, there is no mental hindrance, isn't it? Then why do you want to create? So how do you meditate to overcome pain or sensual desire? The 5 ways. The first 4. The first 2 is thought-based, no use. The third one is aware, sati. Means don't go and labor, understand? Don't go and create mental hindrance. You just accept that sensation for what it is, understand or not? Nature's condition is like that. Condition like that, things will be like that, understand or not? If I don't know how to relax, I don't know how to sit, then it will trigger off the chi flow, then it will induce a type of sensation which is very, very uncomfortable, understand? And you call that pain. The moment you labor, it becomes a hindrance, understand? If you don't labor, what happens? You accept it for what it is, like seeing things as they are. Condition like that, things you accept. You relax into it and maintain awareness. Even sloth and torpor also same. I already told a lot of Kayamita to try. Really, it will just root out the mental hindrance. Even when you are very sleepy, stay with it, with the awareness, the third way. Be aware of that mind state. Don't label it. Don't go, ayo, I come to meditate. Now I'm sleepy, I'm wasting my time. Forget about all this. When sloth and torpor arise, do not resist, do not react, do not go against, allow your habitual tendency or views and opinion to create the mental hindrance. So you accept it as a friend, means be with it, awareness and the thing. What happens is, when you don't label and create mental hindrance, sati take over, understand not? And what is sati? Sati is a spiritual faculty, understand not? That's why it triggers a shift in consciousness. All of a sudden, I did it before. That sloth and torpor completely gone. There is a light that flashed through the mind. Then suddenly, that sensation all gone. Then the mindfulness awareness was able to look down. Then the so-called pulling sensation or what, when you don't have the sati and the mindfulness, you will feel it like a negative sensation which you don't like. But when the thing flash off, you see things as they are. That so-called pulling sensation is without word. Then you realize when you know how to relax, the chi flow, then that so-called painful sensation is gone. So when it comes to the other, just now I mentioned before this one, the sloth and torpor is what? Sensual desire and ill will, is it? Let's say anger is a ill will, understand? A very strong craving, desire, understand? When you are aware that this mind state has arisen, if you don't label, accept it for what it is, and silence your mind and stay with it, find out what happened. I can tell you. I did it when I was doing my training in the year 1989. I saw both the mind state of sensual desire, you will dissolve, like anger, hatred, emotion, very strong inside, because when certain things trigger off, you become emotional. Then you aware. Then what I did is I silence my mind. I don't feed it with any more thought energy. I don't go and think anymore. I just silence, relax, maintain awareness. Then the very flowering of that emotion or that thought is the very ending of that thought. That's why sati will bring about understanding, the dissolution of all this dependent originating mind state. That is how you meditate, understand how? So you're supposed to develop the awareness that there will be contact with the sense basis, and during contact, the first thing to arise is Vedana. Under the, what you call Abhidhamma, the seven universal, you remember? Contact is one of them. Feeling is one of them. Then from here, the feeling, when you stir your mind, react, there is craving, like and dislike. This one come out. And when the craving arises, not so bad. Then later on, your craving becomes so strong, it becomes grasping. It causes you to grasp and want the thing. Understand or not? And when the grasping becomes very strong, you act out of it. This becoming is you act out of it. Understand? Means you become that thing. Take for example, your lust. Understand or not? From here, your strong desire, that lust, make you lustful. Then it conditions you to grasp at that thought. Then you want to, like, maybe take advantage of the situation to rape or to abuse. So what happens is, when you do that, from this grasping, you manifest into becoming. You become that lustful person, understand or not? And when you become that lustful person, you commit that karmic negativity, what happened? Means you take birth. That birth is your karmic negativity. And once you take this birth, which is karmic, it will arise a whole mass of suffering. You understand? This is what the real Paticca Samuppada is. That's why when I was developing the mindfulness and the understanding in 1989, I saw all this. That's why I dare to tell you all that the teaching is not what the traditional teaching is explaining to you. So now do you understand? Can follow or not?